If you are watching this, you probably saw the thumbnail. You saw the mold spores. You saw all the things. I don't make clickbait anything. So this video is for you. If you think you have mold, if you're suffering from the side effects of mold, if you get a headache, a runny nose, sore throat, especially sore throat, uh, fever can be one, stomach upset. For me, it attacked my gallbladder, and I'm going to try to get through this as fast as I can because I want to get as much information out. So I'm going to try to answer the questions. But really, this is just to help anybody out because I'm trying to spread awareness about this because it's pretty serious. The medical field doesn't exactly see this as something that necessarily needs insurance coverage, and it can get very expensive, and it's hard to know what to do because you have to find a professional, or you have to find a get it off your chest. Yeah, you have to find a. I'm gonna switch to chat real quick. Live chat. There we go. Okay, so you have to find a professional in their expertise, specialist. For me, I got lucky and I got the jackpot of mold and chemical sensitivity of doctors, and it's Johnson Medical in Richardson, in Texas. And it's not covered by insurance. It's about 140 a visit. My first visit was almost $1,200. Don't let that scare you away. They're really good at what they do. But pretty much, I'm just going to tell you what the side effects are, what to look out for, and just my whole experience, right? So pretty much earlier this year, my gallbladder just kind of started failing. And I didn't really know why. All the test results came back saying that gallbladder was fine. Long story short, we ended up getting rid of the gallbladder. And when I went to the hospital, it was like the cleanest air I think I'd ever breathed. And that's when I knew we had mold in the house. We previously had the C19, so we didn't have our sense of smell. And I wasn't sure what was going on. All I knew is that I was slowly dying. And you can watch some of the lives and the interactions and stuff on this channel, and you can see the demeanor and everything change. It wasn't. It's a mental thing. It's a neurotoxin. And what we had every type of mold you can possibly have in our attic. We had shingles above the roof, and so in the attic there were shingles. And whatever water was falling was getting collected. There was no sign that there was water damage. So we had a whole bunch of stuff growing in this bedroom. Now, being YouTube especially, you spend a lot of time wherever your workspace is. So I spent a lot of time in the bedroom. So this affected me first in the household. And ultimately I got to my kids, and ultimately we did end up selling the house. But I've actually got a ton of information to help you guys maybe potentially not make the same mistakes I did, because I definitely made a lot of mistakes figuring out about this. And let me grab something really quick to show you what I just found out. And it's how to sanitize things without using bleach. So this is a little bit extreme. I know it's extreme, but it is what it is, okay? This is acetone. And you can do turpentine, you can do acetone, you can do 10% bleach, or you can do 500 degrees for 30 minutes. Pick your poison, because that's the only thing that's going to get rid of some of these toxins. So what really messed me up on the internet, it says don't use bleach for mold. You want to use something like I think Ecolab makes one. Mold Armor is really good. It's almost like a chlorine base is what it is. But that's good for the mold and all, okay? So you get rid of the mold, you scrub it, whatever you're going to do. You kills it, seal it in. That's all fine and dandy. But this is where they mess up. Okay, uh, once you do get rid of the mold, and if you don't have the type of mold that is bad, then you're probably fine. But if you have the type of mold that I had, um, specifically aspergillus, I also had I had every bad one that you name it, we had it. So it's verified. It's in my blood. These are my test results here. Uh, these are my test results here. Can I show this? Yes, I can. Those are my test results. Okay. So if you pause that or whatever, 1.8 is the threshold. I'm at a 7. 0.07 is the threshold. I'm at a 0.28. 0.5. I'm at a 2.7. All this stuff eventually causes really, really bad stuff. So these toxins are microscopic. They're impossible to combat, and really, really need to talk about. Not saying my acetones is dry in 30 seconds. Yeah, exactly. Really, really need to spread awareness about this. So first off, bleach does not kill mold. That is true, but bleach kills the mycotoxins. So just keep that in mind. Once the mold starts producing spores, you need the bleach. And the internet really messed that up on me because I wasn't using bleach because I thought it was, just running in circles. So it wasn't until later in the game that I discovered that we have mycotoxins and bleach. So just in general, bleach can't hurt. Kill the mold, what you're gonna do, and then wipe it with bleach or whatever, and you're gonna be better off. Next, it's very, very sticky. So these toxins, they stick to everything like glue, and you can transport them. They're highly, I guess you should say, contagious. They love aluminum. They love air conditioners. I went through 2 brand new air conditioners, 1 brand new car, and sold all 3 of my other cars before I really figured out what to do. So currently, just to kind of recap where we're at, because we're not going to spend all night on this. I'm just trying to get as much information as possible because somebody needs to see this and have hope, because there is no information about this on YouTube, online, anyone's experience. When I explain this to somebody, I feel like I'm talking about a mythical creature from a sci-fi movie that spits acid, has 10 heads, breathes fire, and can regenerate. And it just seems like he's adding more and more to the list of what this thing can do, because this is absolutely crazy what is going on. But long story short, it sticks to everything like glue, and when it's present, I can sense it. Like my throat hurts in here right now because it's present. Now it could be on this, it could be in a drawer, it can be anywhere. If it's on clothes, especially, don't even try to save your clothes. Like if you think it's in your clothes, if you smell your clothes and your throat hurts, if your significant other is complaining about symptoms specifically when they go inside the house, and when they go outside the house everything's better, or if they just feel like the air is thick, like you really, really need to hone in on these senses, because they are going to save your life. I lost my gallbladder. I got so out of it that I didn't really care if I lived or died, and not because I was just sick of it all. It's just, it has that effect on your brain where hours can roll by, you're feeling like you're just dying, you're sitting in a chair, and you're so out of it, it's hard to explain, but you are in a state where you're just there, and hours can roll by and you won't even know. You're just miserable, you're in pain, your stomach is in knots, you're so dizzy you can't even stand up, you can't move your arms, and you're tired all the time. And when you get to that state, it's time to get out. It's time to do something different. So if you've got somebody that you know that has those symptoms, if they're complaining of things like that, it's good to try to check out the environments. Uh, the machines with the activated charcoal, the air purifiers, whatever, they work good, but they can recontaminate. So you're pulling that contaminant out of the air, and you're pretty much sticking it on a filter temporarily. If you turn off that fan, it's no longer going to get stuck there. And also, just being in the presence of those toxins, once your body has enough of that toxin, it says, hey, I'm done with this. And this isn't medical advice. This isn't coming from a doctor. This is my experience. But it's all pretty much been verified by my professional doctor. So I was telling him I thought I had mycotoxins. I was telling him all my symptoms. I was telling him all this stuff. And turns out we have mycotoxins, and he's just pretty much telling him what I've been telling him. But keep in mind, I'm an electrician by trade. I'm a electrical inspector. I'm very much in the know of what's going on with buildings and things like that, and circulation and ventilation and all those things. Also did 5 or 6 years of HVAC school. So I was able to do a lot of this myself and kind of combat as I was going. The average person dealing with this probably wouldn't know really where to start and would be so stuck and relying on everybody else to do a temporary fix, and they get stuck in the same boat. It's really important that you know that you can, if you suspect that you've got something that's contaminated, you can clean it with bleach, you can clean it with acetone. You need to get out of the area, you need to get fresh air. And you can contaminate other stuff. I had a computer that was so contaminated, it was actually in the coils of the cooler. So it has a radiator, fans blow on the radiator, and it liquid cools your computer pretty much. And it got stuck in the radiator. I took the computer from my old house to the apartment we're kind of temporarily staying in, and I infected the car. And within a month, I had to sell that brand new car back at a loss of $4K to the dealership. Let me see here. Hooray! I got my chapter work catching up. I'm the guy who was damaged by mold in the barracks. Yeah, man. I got a call today. It was good. I won't say for 20 years living in effects of it, but what really helped me about is 10 years in doing high doses of iodine. Yeah, I'm gonna have to try that. I've got some supplements right now. I'll probably share eventually, but this is just the start of the awareness of what's going on. We sold our house for $140,000 under. We had a 30 by 20 shop, fully air conditioned. We had a 3,300 square foot house. We had a carport attached. We had 2 different air conditioners that worked at the house. We had $40,000 of solar panels that I sold for an additional $2,000. Corner lot, you could park 8 cars in the back. All of that is gone. Okay, it doesn't matter what your situation is. You have to get out of that situation. We couldn't escape it. We didn't really have the tools to really know what was going on. It was in the clothes, and we had no idea. When you are in the middle of it and your air is bad, it's hard to know what's causing the problem. All you can do, and I found this out the hard way, was to bring something into fresh air. So you got to take it outside, and you got to see if it makes you feel the same way. And you kind of got to get to that point to where your body says enough is enough. You can be around mold and it can't affect you. Certain molds don't affect me. They smell kind of earthy, and they don't make me feel bad. When I moved in here, one of the first things I did was have all the insulation sucked out, and I realized that the boots were not actually insulated. And I was getting water damage a little bit because of condensation naturally around the boots, and the paint was starting to kind of bubble a little bit. And I pulled there was only this much insulation up there. I pulled all the insulation out, and I started looking at the decking, and that was one of the past lives. We were spraying foam around the boots to get them to stop condensating. And we have a little bit of mold. I could show you now, but I'm so sick of complaining about the mold. This isn't about what's going on in my life. This is about what's going on in your life. So I'm not going to show you the mold right now, but someone was just scrubbing it, and that mold doesn't affect me. Hurts my throat a little bit. It feels like I might have taken a shot of 151 or something, like it burns my throat just being in contact with it. But it doesn't make me sleepy. Doesn't make my stomach hurt. It doesn't. It doesn't make me tired. It doesn't debilitate me. So just because you have mold doesn't mean that you're going to have all these problems. There's many different types of mold. The kind that I had is pretty much the worst that you can get. And when other molds start getting into other molds territories, they start releasing these mycotoxins, which are microscopic. They're more like a VOC. If you sprayed paint, or if I opened up this can here and I could smell the fumes off of this, this is what we're dealing with here. It's more of a feeling than it is a smell. And I'm 7 times over the limit on a lot of these toxins. So my body is very in tune with when I come in contact with something like that. I've probably thrown away probably $20,000 of tools by now, including just left stuff behind. Let me see if I can catch up with the chat here. Saying, not sure how we'll go down. Yes, I'm in Texas. Yeah, it's in your head too, but yeah, you can get sensitized to it. Yes. A lot of it, I was praying, a lot of it was in my head. I know my wife was praying that a lot of it wasn't in my head. But then we went to church camp and we prayed about it. And, the Bible says if you come in a group and you lay hands and you pray, expect a miracle, pretty much. And that's what you do as a believer. You know that miracle is going to happen, and you got full faith that it's going to happen. So what happened was that somebody called me out of the blue wanting to buy my house. And at first I was like, yes, but then I realized what I had and I was trying to hang on to it. And I started spending money that I didn't have, trying to hang on to whatever I had. And I ended up telling this guy yes and then no, like 4 or 5 times. And then finally, my daughter got sick. And she's in tune with what was happening to me. And I was kind of using her to make sure that I wasn't crazy, but also to make sure that, just to kind of confirm things. It sounds bad because you're getting her to smell things or whatever, but she's just as susceptible as I am right now. So I know that she's also has it in her blood. So she started getting sick from it. And we were driving a car to the dealership to sell it for way too less money. I mean, we got, I think, $4,000 for a car with a brand new rebuilt engine, a Ford Edge. There was nothing wrong with it. It was all leather. It was an SEL. Engine had about 8,000 miles on it. And the AC was so contaminated that, we just couldn't keep it. We couldn't even drive it. We weren't even driving anywhere for like 3 months. We didn't drive it. So it was just sitting there. We knew we couldn't keep it. Driving to the dealership, as I pulled up to the gas station, I realized that I could probably set a penny on this engine. And it's a 3.5 too. It was so smooth that I couldn't even tell the car was on. And then I was thinking to myself, man, I don't want to sell this thing. But as the drive continued and we got closer to the dealership, man, I was dying in that thing. And I was like, oh, I cannot wait to sell this thing. So it's just crazy, man, what we've been through and what you need to know and what to expect, because it's actually unbelievable what's out there that just people have no idea about. If a halide like chlorine kills it external, dissolves, whatever, I think iodine, other than halide, is a necessary nutrient, can destroy it internally. My condition is certainly improved. I can still smell mold, but I'm not hypersensitive anymore. The fatigue, yeah. I can also smell mold. It doesn't bother me. I'm not fatigued. It's only when I come in contact with certain things. The stuff in my backyard absolutely has the mycotoxins in them. Not all mold has the mycotoxins. So it just depends on what mold you encounter uh, and what toxin you have. Because I could read you the list of the side effects, but honestly, it's really depressing because I have them all. But I will tell you the aflatoxin is the one to watch out for. That's the minimum amount of what I have, but it binds DNA and proteins, inhibits DNA and RNA replication. Psychotoxic includes, I can't read that, DNA damage, cancer, and jaundice. Shortness of breath, weight loss, most potent and highly carcinogenic, impaired fetal growth, and just not good stuff. The orchotoxin, which I have a good amount of, is fatigue, dermatitis, and irritated bowel. I had all that, and we ended up losing my gallbladder. The satrotoxin is DNA, RNA, and protein synthesis inhibition. And then there's just a bunch of fatigue and weakened immune system on here. Breathing issues. I thought that I had what they call long COVID. I was sure of it because I've been feeling like this for a year, never really recovered. And I just thought that was just the way it was. I was just always tired. And do I ever use a respirator in the house? I can't remember the Rada Bean though, the spray foam to save my life. Yes, we did use a respirator. That whole time we were in a respirator. The only time that we took off the respirator was once we got sheetrock on. And by then, dude, it was already too late for me. I mean, I already lost my gallbladder at that point. We lost the gallbladder before we even started working in that room. I was recovering from surgery, and it was going pretty good until I was stuck in that room with all the mold in it, and stuck like actually like recovering. And I was in there for an extra amount of time, and I started getting rapidly worse. And it got to where I couldn't even lift my arms. And I thought it was the muscle relaxers, so I stopped trying to take those because it made me feel stupid. So we stopped taking the muscle relaxers, and it still got worse. And then one morning, man, I remember being so dizzy, I had to close my eyes and pretend that I was on a roller coaster to stop from throwing up. I mean, my head was, I was just all over the place, laying still. And that's when I realized, like, I gotta get the hell out of this room. And we set up tents in the garage, turned on the heater in the garage because, you know, I was spoiled and the shop was fully air conditioned and heated and insulated. And well, first we slept in the car. That was pretty crazy. And sleeping in a car, putting your feet on the dashboard and your daughter behind you and sitting like in an L position, just don't do it. It's really bad. But yeah, we slept in the car the first night. Then we went and bought tents and we just stayed in the freaking garage for like 2 or 3 weeks. I will say you hit it very well on YouTube, man. Um, I bet, dude, I'm just a positive person, man. What are you gonna do? You know, you gotta move on. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. It could always be worse. I kept saying that, but it kept getting worse. So I was like, I'm gonna stop saying that. But no, for real, it could always be worse. You know, we still have what health we have. We still have a family. Um, we were able to take a large amount of money out of the house. It sucks because we've tripled our mortgage and doubled our interest rate, but it's fine. We were pretty blessed with the rate that we had before. So yeah, we just gotta talk about this more, man. There's nothing to help anybody about mycotoxins or anything on the internet. and there can be a contaminated garment in the bottom of a basket of laundry, and I can walk by that basket of laundry and find it amongst in the bottom of those clothes and pick it out and get rid of it, and then the room is better. I was vetting everything that was coming in this house because we have about 30 trash bags outside full of just tools and stuff, and then we got a crap load of stuff in 2 tents outside. And we recently built a shed, so that'll be good. But it's just stuff that I just want to take a picture of and then throw away. It's just albums and pictures and stuff like that. I mean, I wasn't allowed to really take anything. Some of these tools that I took are actually affecting me. My breath's hot right now. I'm not dizzy, so I was talking to the doctor, and pretty much it's pretty much like a chemical. It's just on there. It's not going to contaminate unless you stir it up. So once it's stuck to whatever it is, it could be stuck on this and affecting my breathing and all that stuff. And it's like a VOC. It's just there. If I scrub it microscopically, it can move from place to place. But you can kill it with 10% bleach, acetone, or turpentine. So that's where I'm at. I wish I had known that. I bought a new $1,000 safe, and we put some stuff in it in a pack out with a rubber seal. I mean, you can pretty much submerge these pack outs, and it still escapes the pack out and goes through 6 black trash bags and gets into the carpet of the safe. That's what I'm up against. That's what you're up against. So if you've got the symptoms, stomach hurts, like we mentioned before, all those things, and you realize that specifically your clothes, your best friend is going to be your best tell to know if anything's wrong, because they're living in clean air that's not thick to breathe. And you'll know because your friend will come over and they'll say, your air is terrible in here. And they'll be able to know just by the thickness, by the smell. You might have a woody smell, you could have an earthy smell. Might not have any smell at all. It could just be sealed up and just releasing spores. But if you are in question, if your air is good, get someone in the house that doesn't live there. Just have someone come over. And what do you think about this air? And really think about when you breathe in, is it extra cold when it hits the back of your throat? Or does it feel really thick? Or when you breathe in, do you feel like you actually got satisfied with enough oxygen? Even still in here, like there's rooms where I've got all the power tools out now and stuff, but like I bought a new mod box from Klein, put the Flex STS drill in it and some other stuff, and it started smelling like a chemical, exactly like my safe smells, which is exactly like my passport smell, which is exactly like my gun smell. And it almost ruined my mod box, but luckily I pulled it out and everything got better. But it's just wild. Like you really got to pay attention to what's going on to know. Some people take it internally as a parasite. Yeah. I preach, brother, mold as hell. Yeah. I know from you it sticks. It's got a better feel for how it stays inside the body. Yeah, it loves air conditioners, window ACs, you name it. It's got to get really hot for steam to kill it. I've got a steam washer and dryer, and they are awesome. But there's some stuff it just won't kill. It'll kill a lot of stuff. Quick encounters, things like that. The original ground zero garments that were affected are absolutely unwashable. Don't even try to save them. They will recontaminate. Uh, Computers, things with fans, anything that moves air will recontaminate. You can push it, it's stuck to something, you can brush up against it, and it'll go airborne, and you can recontaminate. Uh, just be mindful of that. Don't set your air conditioner to recirculate in your car. It's that stupid car thing with a little circle in it. You're better off intaking the fresh air into your car anyway than going back through your cabin AC filter. Your filters are not designed to catch microscopic particles. They're designed to catch leaves and stuff that's going to block up your evaporator and like some dust. But the really fine stuff, you can't stop it. As sure as if I was to blow within a couple of seconds, if someone was standing over there, they're going to feel that air. The air is always moving. Can you imagine that package, Joshua? You may pass out when you cut the tape. So I got a Flex scarf that Flex sent me. I'm going to send Joshua. It's been outside for a month. It might have actually aired out. I think I'm still going to pour acetone on it though for good measure. I don't know. I don't want to take the dye out of it, but it doesn't burn my throat anymore. So, I'm working on a package for Joshua of just things that you can only find from years of experience or the know-how or whatever. We're gonna send you something, but man, this whole thing's just wild. So pretty much from January, no, this actually, I missed Halloween last year, so that's when my stomach really started hurting. Was around Halloween, so I'm probably gonna do it for fun too. I'm gonna check out the lives and see what I was doing on Halloween and how I was reacting. Maybe we might do that live tomorrow or something. But just to see where it wasn't good, man. I got to run around from so many doctors. They really don't know what they're doing. You got to be your own advocate. I went to the doctor 3 times in the same week, begging for help, something, and ultimately I found my own specialist. I ended up changing doctors, and my specialist didn't even find me a surgeon. I had to find my own surgeon. And then by the time I was recovering from surgery, I got a call from the specialist asking if I, no, I got a call from the doctor asking if I needed a specialist. And we'd already pulled the freaking gallbladder out. Specifically, I don't know this for sure, but in the side effects, digestion, specifically with meats, proteins, is on the list. Now, your gallbladder directly is related to that. What happens is there's a hormone that releases, it tells your gallbladder to squeeze. So your liver creates the bile. The bile gets stored in your gallbladder, and then the gallbladder concentrates the bile to the power of 3 to make it more potent. You can digest meat, and when you eat meat and fatty things, specifically fatty things, there's a hormone in your body that tells your gallbladder to squeeze, and it releases the bile to dissolve the fat. The toxins hang out a lot in your bile. So my gallbladder was the first thing to go. The toxins were in the bile. If I had have known that I had mold issues, I probably could have kept my gallbladder, because when I get in contact with this stuff, where my gallbladder used to be still absolutely turns into a knot, and I pretty much got to go take a nap. And so if you have all these symptoms and stuff, look for another cause, because nobody really knows what they're doing out there. it sucks to say. Oh yeah, you need to go better. Yeah. Um. So yeah, for me it was my gallbladder. Um. And then during recovery is when I kind of realized that for sure we had a problem. And then we started trying to work on the house ourselves, but we weren't fully prepared for what we were going to find. Um, we, I don't know. Once you get something tested, there's like disclaimers and things you gotta affidavits you gotta sign, things like that that says, hey, there's this in the house. And I knew that if I ever had it professionally tested, I would have to disclose it. So what I did, I ended up disclosing it, but it wasn't in a written document. It wasn't like a separate sheet of paper where it's like, oh, you're getting this house, but also see this sheet. It was, hey, I lost my gallbladder. I think there's mold in the house. Um, Highly toxic, at your own risk. If it affects you, whatever, it affects me, and I'm allergic to it. That was my disclosure, pretty much. I said pretty much I gotta leave everything behind. I can't take anything with me. You can have all the furniture and all the tools, and if you want to bulldoze this house, that's what I would do too. And that was pretty much my disclaimer. So it kind of changes the game whenever you've got a professional company that's actually gone in there and found all the 31 flavors of Baskin Robbins freaking mold in your attic and then said, hey, this is this, and you can never get rid of it, you know? So we did not get it professionally examined, but based on what's in my blood, what's in my urine, we had them all. So we started doing this remodel fully unequipped to deal with mycotoxins and what they are. I didn't really know what a mycotoxin was until let me think. There was a changing point, and I think it's whenever we started dealing with the cars, and I started trying to use ozone, and the algorithm for Google came up ozone and mold, and then finally something about mycotoxins, and that's when I knew that's pretty much what I had, just based on how persistent the stuff is. Uh, yeah. You replacing the air conditioned vents. Have you thought of an inline dehumidifier to keep moisture out of the air? Um, no, but I can talk to my HVAC guy. I got a really, really good HVAC guy. That's not a bad idea. The thing is, the other thing that kind of contributed to it, we had a 4-ton unit on a house that needed a 3-ton. Now, when you're doing HVAC, return air goes a long way. So if you are supplying 2,500 square foot with an air conditioner, and then you're supplying a 20 by 20 room with the same air conditioner, but you don't have return air coming back, it's not returning with the same amount of air, and you wind up where the air conditioner is oversized and it cools the space down so fast that it does what you call short cycling, where it doesn't remove all of the moisture out of the air. And that can help mold move around the house, or the spores. But ultimately, the roof leak is what really got us in trouble with the mold to begin with. It's true that the air conditioner will do X, Y, and Z, but our air conditioner had a UV light in it, and UV light has very little effect on trichothiazine, which is one of the mycotoxins that I've got. So it's true that all that stuff will help, but ultimately, you know, if you've got trichothiazine, uh, don't even try. Just just get the hell out. Let the professionals deal with it. Grab whatever you can before you infect more stuff. Uh, the stuff is too sticky to get away from. There's a lot that I would have done differently. Towards the end, we ended up renting cars to avoid contaminating our own, which is a really crappy thing to do. But they got steamers, they got sanitizers. I don't know. We didn't run the circulation in the AC, but I wasn't gonna buy another new car. I mean, I don't know. I feel bad for potentially messing up another car, but the average person, man, if your body can deal with the toxins, then they don't affect you. You can't even smell them. They don't hurt your throat. Uh, but once your body gets so full of these toxins, you pretty much get overwhelmed, and your system can't fight off all the toxins at once. So that's where I'm at. Yeah, UVC and the HV. Yes, yeah, ultraviolet light does little effect on the trichothiazine. It does on the other ones. But no, I had a UV light shining directly on my coil, and we pulled the coil out of the house. We pulled the coil out of the house when it was still cold outside, and we left it in the front yard for like 3 months in the sun. And then when it started getting hot outside, the guy came back to put the coil back in because we needed air conditioning. And frankly, I didn't want to contaminate another coil, so we just left it out. And we could still smell it from 20 feet away outside. The stuff doesn't die. There's no amount of UV light that'll kill some of the stuff that we've been dealing with. The sun's about as UV as it gets. The UV light is about as UV as it gets. What we have is just a monster of a problem that we were not equipped to deal with. So 2 duct change later, 2 HVAC coils, one furnace, 2 plenums, 1 brand new car, an apartment, and another air conditioner in the garage, and then all of my belongings in the garage later. We kind of figured out what was going on. So this isn't something you can do yourself. You just can't. You need a space to be where you have fresh air here, and you need space and time to kind of go through and figure out what you're gonna do. And it's just not even. Just don't take no for an answer. For insurance, you can't afford to. Luckily, I could, but I don't even know the advice that I would give myself. You just have to go back and watch some of the lives that we dealt with, and just what we've been doing, man. Because we put $30,000 on a credit card, knowing that I could sell the house whenever I wanted to, hopefully. And I had so much equity that even if I didn't sell it for that price, we had a lot of equity in the house. So we were in a unique position, but those days are gone, man. The days of equity are dying pretty quick. Gotta scroll back up to read that one. UV shining on surfaces coated with titanium dioxide. We coated the the, AC coil with, we coated the, AC coil with, 10 times, 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 I can't remember what we coated it with. Orange, an orange paint. I can't remember what it's called. They do it to commercial units, and it still didn't matter. This stuff sticks to anything and everything, and the only way to kill it is 500 degrees for 30 minutes, or 10% bleach, acetone, or turpentine. That's pretty much it. And the acetone thing is new to me, so I just did a members only video, 2 of them, I think, where I was dunking these tools in acetone. Not really happy about it, but it was either keep them or throw them away. That's where we're at. So we dunked all these tools in acetone, and I don't know. They seem to be okay. But yeah, that's this is kind of just like part 1 of what to expect. To wrap it up, you got to go with your gut. You need to listen to your partner. You need to get your friends involved because they're the ones that are breathing the fresh air. You become nose blind to your own smells. So you need to get someone else in the house that doesn't usually live there. You need to kind of do your symptom check and figure out, do my symptoms happen when I'm out of the house or in the house? Are you tired all the freaking time? Can you pretty much fall asleep just doing anything? I mean, really, my YouTube channel suffered just trying to edit videos, man. I'd fall asleep editing. I'd fall asleep talking to Tools with Souls. I'd fall asleep anywhere. The morning that was kind of the turning point for all this. My plan was just to lay there and pretty much just die. Not that I wanted to, just was just that out of it. So we were working in the closet. We had an air purifier with us that night. We sealed up. What did we do? I had my wife working in the closet, and she was doing all the demo because I couldn't even be around it. And the more that she opened up, the worse it got. And I came home from work and I bought plastic at Home Depot and Gorilla Tape, and I started taping off doorways and cased openings. And I had about 6 taped off in between that room and the room that we were staying in. And we took that air purifier in with us that we were doing the remodel in with. And that morning, I almost didn't wake back up. I pretty much told my wife, you can go to work, but I'm not going to be here when you come back, because I was just out of it. I felt like my heartbeat was like nothing. And that was just my plan. I was just going to just be gone and not be a burden. So that's what this does to you. So then she wakes up, she decides she's going to make coffee. She takes off work, which is a good choice. And she goes outside. She says, hey, the air in the kitchen is way better than in our bedroom. Now, the bedroom was like the safest spot in the house for like a couple of months now. And I finally managed to get up because I was so out of it. And I walked into the kitchen. And as soon as I got in that fresh air, I was like alive again. And I realized that it was in that bedroom. and I wasn't sure what had changed, but that bedroom was close to the return air for the HVAC, and it ruined the rest of the house. We had just put a brand new AC in that house, and it ruined it. Um, but that's kind of like, where we've been, where it's at, and what it can do. Try to catch up with the chat here. Not really by choice, not really, giving up. Just that's just where it was at. Pretty wild. So, we got to make these videos. It sucks, but it's out there, and there's got to be somebody somewhere dealing with the same thing, wondering what the hell do I do. And reach out in the comments, because if you would go to like on Reddit or something, there's a lot of stuff about mycotoxins and people experiencing the same things. Jordan Peterson's daughter actually experienced something very similar. They were super rich and able to kind of, deal with it, but she also couldn't move her arms, and she was also debilitated, and she did a kind of where have I been for 6 months Q&A pretty recently. My buddy sent me. I had no idea about it, but I don't really keep up with anything like that. But it was pretty good to hear that someone else, was at least not just me. This is so crazy what we've been dealing with, and where we're at, and the time that we've spent, the time that we've lost, and the just everything, man. One of the most normal days we had in the last year, we actually were able to stay in this house for a couple of nights before we bought it to make sure I could breathe in it. My buddy owned it, and we woke up on an air mattress in a house we didn't even own. We didn't have any clothes. We had boxes. I had a cardboard box, and we went to Walmart. I was buying everything brand new. And I was buying pairs of jeans to throw them away the next day, because we didn't have a house to actually live in that was not contaminated. So I was just buying $20 pair of jeans, wear them for 2 days, and then throw them in the trash. And I was buying like the cheap pajama pants and the 5-pack of $20 shirts at Walmart, and just throwing them in the trash. And we did that for about a month while we were trying to figure things out, what we're going to do. And we knew that we were going to sell the house. We weren't sure when it was going to close, or if it was even ever going to close, or what was going on. But yeah, just don't make the same mistakes that I did, because this stuff is so contagious with itself. It just sticks to everything. We did a mold test, one of those little home things. We put the petri dish, and like nothing. It didn't say anything was bad. You need an air quality expert to really analyze like what's going on in the air, not just some spore grow thing. It's just something that conventional medicine probably can deal with. Probably that may take so long to catch up. Salvation Army much cheaper. Yeah. I don't know. There's other people that are in more need for the Salvation Army than I was. Not that I felt like I was any which way about it, more or less, or whatever, just I didn't feel like we were that much in need. We had a lot of support on this channel. We got decent jobs and stuff. It's just something else we have to deal with, when you were raised in the trade, and the trades raised you, and you had baby boomers and some Gen X, I guess, that were pretty much teaching you what to expect in life, and suck it up. That's just what you do. You just deal with it and go on to the next thing. Negative 40-degree freezers, 110-degree roofs. That's just part of it. This wasn't that mentally degrading for me. It was getting ridiculous having to deal with the same thing. But you know, what else are you gonna do? You know, um, the debt was kind of crippling. I'll tell you that. Don't put 30K on a credit card. That's not a good idea. If you get the loan from Chase, the My Chase loan, that sucks. They auto paid it off, so we borrowed like 12K to be prepared for what was going to happen. And then we spent like 8K of the, we had some extra money saved up, but I didn't want to touch my cash. And we spent a good amount of money, more than what I had in cash though. And it auto paid itself off and left me with like a negative couple of $1,000. That was fun. When you look at that loan, it doesn't break it into a plan like where you can set your own plans. So like, okay, I want to borrow 10K. It's going to cost me 240 a month, and it's going to be for 6 years. Whatever. Interest rate 12%. Sure, cool. Whatever. We'll pay it off sooner. Uh, when you look at your credit card, it doesn't show that plan. It just shows debt, and you don't even really know when that limit breaks or when you've met your threshold or what. So if you start spending money on the credit card while you have that plan, it doesn't say this portion is here and this portion is here. It's just a flat, you owe 13K and this is your payment. Um, so it gets kind of crazy. It enabled us to, kind of figure some stuff out, I guess, but ultimately, um, it didn't help. Get with a credit union or somebody that'll work with you. Get tangible assets that aren't paid off to get extra money. Um, anything with your name on it that they can hold. Let's see here. The world is not sterile without fungi. There would be no life. Every object you test has E. coli on it. E. coli is a word like mammal. There are so many. Yeah. I got a question. Daily 146. What you got? Dolly 146. What's up? Waiting on the question. So I don't know what we're gonna do tomorrow. We got Tools with Souls coming on. We'll probably we'll do something. I have 3 answers. I hope one works for you. It's a long question. So we did pick up this thing, man. It's a tool channel, so we'll show the tool. We got the Surge, and this is probably my new favorite. It's so smooth. It's got a lot of torque too. Just shake it for tomorrow. I'll wait for this question. Is he gonna post a question? I wonder if this is good or not. Yeah, see this, the acetone fixed this. I steamed this for like 5 minutes with a Wagner steamer. I bleached it. I did everything. And acetone. Acetone will sterilize. That's good to know. Less sound for you, tactics? Leslie? I don't know. Um. All right. Well. Where's he gonna post the question? Untold Stories is my main tool. I'll grab first. I have it hanging on the hook in my pack out wall. Love that thing, bro. Yeah. This is kind of game changing. I was installing some furniture with it, and oh man, I've been missing out. I kind of wanted one for a while, but now that all my tools are contaminated, I had a good reason to buy another one, and that's probably my favorite one. It's so smooth. Less noise from the M12. Yes, yeah, it's way quieter. I found some rubber floor mats and carpet tiles cheap at Lowe's. Nice. Hey, I was waiting for the question, but I'm not sure if he's gonna post it. We're gonna give him about a minute, and then we're gonna get out of here. All right, it seems I might have missed the question. Just post it in the comments below. Yeah, you can leave it in the comments. I've been battling demons. Can you relate? Yeah, what demons you been battling? I've been getting rubber boots for all my most tools. Debating on getting the. Oh, nice. Is there a rubber boot for that one? I'm looking for it right now. Let me know. Post me the number. I was looking for today on Amazon, not really on their website. Yeah, man, it just depends what demons you're battling. Remember, the demons that you battle are it's your choice if you're gonna battle them or not. Um, Mind over matter, man. Take control of your life. If it's holding you back, you got to cut it loose. Haha, Cooch had a ghost. Yeah, we didn't pack the ghost, man. Ghost is back at the other house. Yeah, life is a struggle. Got to keep moving forward. Yeah, pretty much. That's all you can do. Yeah. All right. Well, that's gonna be it for the stream. Just trying to keep this short, but you see how that went. Oh, it's the same boot. Okay. Okay. Nice. Uh, Action breaks down clear pixel, so don't spray any on it. It's gonna get foggy looking. Acetone breaks down clear plexi, so don't spray it on. Yes. Yes, it does. It also makes these boxes look like this. That's all right. Also takes the paint off of things and leaves it on your fingers. I've been through some stuff that I'm not proud of. History to say the least bad. You know what, man? God already knows what you've been through. So whatever you've done, whatever demons you got, the blood of Christ has already paid for it. It's already done. It's a done deal. All you got to do is forgive yourself. Uh, there's a there's a quote. I don't want to mess it up, but pretty much on your best day, you could have not cussed, you could have not drank, you could have not done whatever your guilty pleasure is doing. Um, on the best day, you're still a filthy rag. It doesn't matter what you've done in the eyes of Christ. You're still the same. He already knew you're going to do it. You're a blip in a timeline here, and in this moment of eternity, we're here. So you're centering down on this little speck of eternity. That's just a blip in the time scale of where we are. So whatever you've done, man, just let it go, dude. There's no demons to battle. The battle's already been won. You just gotta forgive yourself, and that can take some time, but that's all I gotta say about that. Forgiving yourself is the hardest part. Yeah, that's me. Accountability, and integrity is pretty much what my job is all about. Um, we had a shed, and the guy's building it, and I work for the city, so I could call a buddy and be like, hey, my shed might have got built a little bit too tall. Um, can you pass it for me? I could so easily do that, but uh, I'm not gonna do that. I told the guy, I was like, hey man, just stop what you're doing, go home, don't roof it. I'll go to the city and I'll figure out what my setbacks are, and see if this thing's too tall, or we're gonna have to cut it down. And he was like, don't you work for the city? And I'm like, yeah, man, but I'm not. We're not gonna go that route. I'll just pay you to cut it shorter. Miscommunication. So it's all about integrity, man. It's like a muscle. It flexes both ways. Uh, which way are you flexing your integrity muscle? Is it for good or bad? I try to flex mine for good. Get more good in the long run. Keeps you accountable. And accountability, your word, and your integrity is really all you got in this world. Um, that's what you're remembered by. That's how you make your mark. And that's what I'm about. So I always like those better than the Milwaukee. Yeah. All right, we are gonna bounce. We're out of here over time. So we will catch you guys later. See you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching, and hopefully this helps somebody somewhere somehow. There's hope out there. It is a long road, but hopefully this can help you stop making some of the mistakes I made, because I made a ton of mistakes. So yeah. We'll see you later. I do not know how to end this. Here we go.